This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.
Good morning, I'm Dani Vittori, and welcome to LCTV News and our final episode of the month due to the holiday next week. So we're squeezing all we can into this edition, beginning with strides to make housing more affordable. From there, go on a journey of art and culture from a variety of ages and backgrounds. Wrap this up with the special Double Lowdown week, which brings in both the themes of education and becoming more economically aware. Here's the news for Friday, November 22nd, 2024. Two years after Lynn created the Affordable Housing Trust Fund and designated $3 million in ARPA funding, the trust allocated its final $1.2 million to 6 organizations. The City Council approved an ordinance in June of 2022 to establish the AHTF, as well as an inclusionary zoning policy, designed to provide the city with the tools they need to address the issue of housing affordability. To date, the AHTF has awarded more than $2 million to increase affordable units in the city. Their most recent and final round of allocations included $500,000 to the Lynn Housing Authority and Neighborhood Development for the Lynn Armory Project, $300,000 to the Haven Project for 188 Washington Street, $250,000 to Harbor Light Homes for 20 School Street, $150,000 to Commonwealth Land Trust for 21 Oxford Street, and $75,000 to 2 Life Communities for 19 Porter Street, furthering the goal of expanding affordable and safe housing. One example of these projects is Catalyst Housing, a permanent and supportive housing partnership between the Haven Project and Harbor Light Homes. They have officially broken ground and opened applications for their housing lottery. Once completed, the Catalyst housing will consist of 24 studio apartments and the 3rd and 4th floors above the Haven Project's offices on Monroe Street. All rooms will have a kitchenette, bed, individual bathroom, and shower with 2 handicap-accessible units. The deadline to enter the housing lottery is January 15th, 2025 at 4 p.m. Applications must be delivered either in person to Harbor Light Homes, 600 Cummings Circle, Beverly, or mailed to P.O. Box 507 with a postmark of or before the 15th. The lottery itself will take place the following month, February 10th, 2025. Preference will be given to applicants who are homeless, between the ages of 18 and 24, and in need of supportive services. For the lottery period only, preference will be given to those who live, work, or attend public school in Lynn for some units. Applications can be picked up at Harbor Light Homes or are available as printable PDFs on their website. Contrary to the seasonally warm weather lately, winter is coming and families are preparing. The Lynn Family Forward Resource Center was there to lend a hand with their annual Winter Warmth event. Operating on a first-come, first-served basis, families could choose from a collection of clothing ranging from newborns to preteens. Check out more from this event providing vital resources.
Hello, my name is Olivia Grinstead. I'm the program director of the Lynn Family Forward Resource Center, and today we are having our Winter Warmth event. Yeah, it's a non-registered event, so it starts at 12 o'clock, and it's kind of like a first come, first serve. We put everything out on our tables, all sized and organized and labeled, and families just come in and get everything that they need for the beginning of the winter season. We were giving out books, blankets, crew neck sweatshirts, footy pajamas, pajama sets, overalls, jean jackets, the starter winter gear like hats, gloves, and socks. We were giving out hand warmers, scarves. We were also giving out we did have a few donated jackets, so we were able to give out some warm jackets as well. My staff and I are wearing pajamas because the majority of the items that we were able to give out today were pajamas and crew neck sweatshirts. So we wanted to dress in pajamas, be a little fun, be a little kooky, because that's what majority of the stuff we're giving out. So we wanted to dress in the stuff that we were giving out to families. The majority of our donations today were donations from the community, and then they were also purchased with a grant that we had through the Good 360 organization. That they didn't give us our grant. That's the organization that gave us our products. And we were also able to get 75 pajamas from the Pajama Program of Massachusetts. And they are an amazing program that give books, pajamas to families in need, and we definitely tap in and utilize them when possible. The importance is to give back to the community, make sure that the community knows that we're here for them. The Resource Center is always open Monday through Friday. And we're always open for families to just come in, get the basic needs that they need, or even just to come in, stay warm for a little bit, get some resources throughout the community, and just to kind of be a home vibe for everybody to feel comfortable and welcome when they're kind of down on the luck sometimes.
For anyone looking to expand their digital literacy knowledge, or if you've never used a computer, LCTV is now offering classes in basic desktop computer skills. The first two will take place on December 12th at 6 p.m. and December 19th at 2 p.m. These 2-hour classes are designed to get you up and running and navigating desktop computers with ease. Registration is required by calling us at 781-780-9460 or via email at info@lyntv.org. Limited space is available, so register today. This project is funded by the Massachusetts Broadband Institute at the Mass Tech Collaborative under the Municipal Digital Equity Implementation Program. Funding was also provided by Massachusetts ARPA State Fiscal Recovery Funds. Earlier this week, LPS submitted a letter to the editor containing statements from Superintendent Alvarez, Mayor Nicholson, and LTU 1037 President Sheila O'Neill regarding KIPP Academy's application for expansion. According to Superintendent Alvarez, quote, after careful analysis of DESE data of ELA proficiency rates from the last 3 years, KIPP Lynn has lagged behind state averages by as much as 15 percentage points. For mathematics, the gaps are smaller but practically significant with a deficit of up to 8 points. In science and technology, the gap widens to an alarming 17 to 18 points for peer groups. Designating KIPP Lynn as a proven provider under these circumstances would set a troubling precedent. It would suggest that academic success and equitable service to all student populations are no longer the cornerstones of Massachusetts charter school standards, end quote. Mayor Nicholson and President O'Neill echoed these sentiments, stating how students of all backgrounds should be welcomed and given opportunities to succeed. The city was hopping Tuesday night, beginning with a little library reveal at Centerboard. Raw Art students decorated 3 little libraries as part of their Artists in Action initiative. They worked for 3 weeks, portraying the importance of books and what reading means to them through images ranging from fairy tales to flowers. Take a look.
Okay, my name is Pamela. I am a raw artist, so I am in the group called Artists in Action. We collaborated with 3 little libraries to make them feel more welcoming to the community, make them feel more comfortable to come up to and donate and receive books as well. We just kind of push them more into the community. They were already there, they were already a staple, we just made them more visible and more better to look at. I would say this project was about 3 weeks. It was a fast project, but we took all of our time doing it, each group, which we meet every single Tuesdays. So every 2 hours, we would just work on it the entire time. I'm very excited for you guys to see it. It was a quick little project, but it was super fun, and I honestly love books myself. I just purchased a book a couple of weeks ago, so seeing that I can give back to my community and give more knowledge and then receive more knowledge, it makes me super happy to work on this project.
3, 2, 1!
My personal theme with my group, because we did collaborate with different little groups for each one, because there was a lot, so we couldn't all do them for one of them. But my theme was that the heart of knowledge is books. So for mine, I won't say too much, but there's basically kind of making it seem like a little tree. And I basically put Massachusetts native flowers all around, basically just to show that nobody's the same and we are all from, well, majority of people are from Massachusetts and everyone belongs here, no matter what you look like or who you are. You can receive a book and leave a book. And it's just a nice little thing for the community.
From there, run over to City Hall for their first ever Native American Heritage Month celebration. Representatives from From there, run over to City Hall for their first ever Native American Heritage Month celebration. Representatives from several tribes in Massachusetts were present to explain elements of their culture and perform some of their traditional dances.
To remember and speak the names of the bloodline citizenship and the families in their care, who suffered first the English pestilence and then the English themselves. Those who had their culture, their language, their sacred obligation of living reciprocally with every relation on these lands and waters to which they belonged for millennia, alienated from them. Those who, despite this degradation, carried on with integrity their tradition of giving freely, without bias, to include their assailants. I'm talking about Lynn Grand Sachem of the Pawtucket and the Massachusetts Confederation just prior to English colonization. He fought valiantly against the Abenaki Confederation to maintain and expand the sachenship. I encourage everyone here to learn more about the indigenous history of the land and become more familiar with your indigenous names.
Mass meaning big or great, Achu meaning hill, and Set meaning place, which roughly translates to place of the great hill. That's where our state name comes from. We acknowledge that the land on which we live, work, and gather in Lynn, Massachusetts is the ancestral and traditional territory of the Massachusetts, Pawtucket, and Nakiak peoples. Acknowledging the land is a transformative act that works to undo the intentional erasure of indigenous peoples from the nationalist colonial narrative and is the first step in decolonizing land relations.
Now, therefore, I, Jhayr, Mayor of the City of Lynn, do hereby proclaim November 2024 to be Native American Heritage Month. Encourage all citizens to reflect upon the rich and enduring contributions of Native American peoples, to celebrate their heritage, and to commit to honoring the sovereignty, traditions, and cultures of indigenous nations.
On Monday, November 18th, the Lynn Police Department swore in 2 new officers, Michael Terry and Robert Sumsky. Police Chief Chris Reddy and Mayor Gerald Nicholson spoke, welcoming these officers to the force. Both went through 6 months of physical and academic training at the academy before coming to Lynn. They both expressed their excitement to get going and continue learning on the job. While the MBTA released their new official mobile app, MBTA Go. The app became available to iPhone users on November 20th, with an Android version being released in February of 2025. Features include real-time live updates, such as estimated travel time and tracking buses or trains as they approach the station, as well as a user-friendly map that displays which services and transfers are available at each stop and station. The app is available in 7 languages: English, Spanish, Simplified Chinese, Traditional Chinese, Portuguese, Haitian Creole, and Vietnamese. More than 4,000 riders have already piloted MBTA Go, and their feedback was used to improve the app through the design phase. Users can also expect updates every 4 to 6 weeks. Come feel the enthusiasm for Leap for Education's Reimagined Teen Center right here in Lynn, including a variety of programs that serve the dual purpose of teaching them life skills while also giving them a safe space to express themselves. Complete with field trips to local attractions, the executive director and site coordinator came on the lowdown to share the importance of this program. Good morning and welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and today we have on the Executive Director and Site Coordinator for Leap for Education. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Great, so I will just jump right in and ask you both to just briefly introduce yourselves and what is the mission of Leap for Education? What's your goal?
Okay, well, my name is Linda Saris, and I founded Leap 23 years ago, hard to believe. It was founded in Salem, and we moved into Lynn. This will be our 5th year in Lynn. And I'd like to introduce my colleague here, Jhayr Castillo.
Hi, I'm Jhayr. I'm excited to be here, so thank you.
Great.
And so Leap envisions a world where youth have access to quality education, resources, and allies to navigate to a successful career and upward economic mobility. So that's sort of our vision statement. And we do that by supporting our youth in their educational, career, and personal growth by partnering with the community to open up a lot of opportunities for them and to be able to advance equity. Last year, we served about 575 students in both Salem and Lynn.
Impressive.
Of which about 225 were here in Lynn. We run a program for middle schoolers at the Thurgood Marshall Middle School, about 130 kids every year, all school year and summer. And 2 years ago, we opened up a Lynn Teen Center. And that serves all the high schools, public, private, charter, in Lynn. And Jhayr came to us a couple of years. This is his second year.
It's my second school year.
Seems like he's been here forever. Second, which is a good thing, not a bad thing. Second year. And he took a very sleepy teen center that was running in Lynn English High School and turned it into this thriving, with a lot, buzzing teen center. And before I turn it over to him to explain what goes on in the Lynn Teen Center, I do want to say that what sort of makes us unique or different from other great organizations here in Lynn is we kind of have careers as our North Star. So even kids as 11-year-olds who are in 6th grade all the way through high school, we're always embedding career activities so that as they're learning and engaging in their learning, they're thinking about, wow, I really love this subject. That's a strength of mine, and how would that translate into a career?
Yeah.
And then as they get closer to high school and thinking about college and other post-secondary choices, if they have these career aspirations, if they understand what their strengths and interests are, it helps inform what post-secondary programs to go to, what jobs to apply for, what volunteer opportunities. So that's my overview. Feel free to ask me any questions, and I'd Take it away, Jhayr, to talk about the Teen Center.
Yeah, I mean, the Teen Center has been a great space for a lot of the students. I know it's been relatively new in Lynn, especially in the space that we're in now, but it's been an extremely valuable part of their lives now. And, you know, seeing like a core group show up every day and, you know, take part in the activities that we, you know, run every single day, Monday through Thursday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. You know, we're really excited that the students are, you know, gladly participating and really buying into what it is that we're trying to do as an organization. So, you know, it's been a good year and a half, I would say. You know, we're only in October, and so far we've already kind of reached the level of registrations that we got last year. This year, last year we reached about 30, which was a good number for a relatively new center. And this year we're at about 25 with a couple students who would kind of escape here and there. So it's hard to get them, you know, to sit down and register. But we are seeing like a boom in numbers this year, and it's been like a really successful program for our high school division. And, you know, it's just growing and growing as, you know, the months go on and word of mouth goes through, especially in the city of Lynn. So we're doing our best to partner with like communities and making sure that like different orgs are aware that we're here as well, and, you know, making a impact on the students' lives as much as we can. So
we're very much into partnering. Yeah. Because we try and we know that every student's unique that comes into our Teen Center. They have different interests, they have different experiences. And we, Jhayr and I, as smart as the two of us are, can't accommodate everybody's interests. So we partner with organizations. We've partnered with the Lynn Museum. We've partnered with Arts. We've partnered with Peabody Essex Museum, you know, for kids that are interested more in an art track. And for STEM, we've partnered with the Latino STEM Alliance. Tell them about some of the field trips and stuff you've done. Yeah, we've done like a ton of field trips. Recently, we've gone to like the Harvard Business Graduate School, and we got to do like environmental science and things like that, and how it affects the community of Lynn, which is really cool because it was a very specific kind of topic that they were going through, and it kind of like resonated with a lot of our students. We got to go to Boston Dynamics, which was a program that we've gone to in the past before, but it's basically just teaching the students about like robotics and how like essential they are to like an everyday career path. So those are two of like the bigger trips that we've gone. We try to do like little fun stuff in here and there. So as you've seen like some of the pictures we've done in the game in Peabody, we've done Bodeborg in Malden, which is like an escape room, which I recommend to everybody. It's like a great team building experience too, especially with like. I've never done an escape room. I should go there.
Yeah, I mean it's great, just more so because being a Lynn program and having you know essentially all the students from different schools coming into our program, it's good to have them grouped up and kind of like figuring how to bond, figuring out how to like build like chemistry within the program, and doing like, you know, small things like, you know, playing games at an arcade or, you know, doing escape room. Like those things are team building, and they're like essential in building culture for our students and for our staff as well. So, you know, it's been a really exciting, even today we have a field trip later today going to Connor's Farm, just kind of giving them a sense of.
Is that the one that has a corn maze or no?
Yeah, it has like a little maze.
I want to do that one too.
I see the theme.
Yeah. So we try to like, you know, broaden our horizons, making sure that students are exposed to so many different avenues, so many different, you know, activities that kind of just pique interest, and more or less just building a sense of like community within our program, especially in our center, making sure the students are comfortable with each other, comfortable with the staff, and just more or less like, you know, building a family within our program. So.
And other than being, for this, a student in Lynn, are there any other requirements or prerequisites for enrolling, and how does that work?
So, you know, like I said, we're a Lynn program. Yes. So essentially, we're not just going for just the high schools. Like we have students who are homeschooled that come to our program. Okay. We have students, you know, that are friends with kids in Lynn, and they come from different towns, and they, you know, join us in our program sometimes, you know. And it's just like we're building a center that doesn't have any requisites, and of course, aside from, you know, being in the high school range, so about 14 to 18, and just giving them a space where they can come in. There's no real enrollment fees or anything like that. Being a nonprofit, like we want the students to come in, see the space, and if they enjoy it and they continue to come on, we register them, and then they're a part of our program and move forward.
I guess I would say to the students and the parents that are watching today is if you want to come in and look for a job and think about like what your career path is, if you want to think about what your post-secondary, if you're in high school and you're like still don't know where you want to go when you graduate high school, or maybe you have a very definite plan of what you want to do, we can help you with all the college applications and thinking through all of that. If you want just a place where you can come and be with your friends and be social and get some academic tutoring, the Teen Center is your place to be. And Jhayr always reminds me that there is also opportunity just to have fun. I'm the one always saying, so what's the academic lesson? What what are they learning about careers?
Right.
And so we make sure that I should also mention that we do offer free transportation and we feed and we have food like he has lots of food.
Yeah, we try to make sure students are fed. The transportation thing has been a bonus for us and for the families of our students, and just like giving that opportunity for them to work and not worry about how their kids are getting home and getting to the center, and providing that service that's essential for programs, I think. And
it's all free. I should mention.
And it's all free.
We don't charge anything.
Like Linda said, like we do absolutely balance out what academic stuff we want to make sure we're getting done, and the fun side, like we want to make sure that the students essentially are being treated as students.
And I always say that fun shouldn't be like different than learning. Like fun can be learning, right?
Yeah.
So even if you're playing basketball, Jhayr and I used to talk about this because he's a basketball guy, you can teach math in basketball. You teach math while you're cooking. I mean, there's just so many ways you can build academics into fun. I like to think that learning is fun.
Yeah, and we've been lucky to have a great staff and a great support system in the program that comes in and like doesn't make it feel like this is essentially purely academic. Like, hey, we need to do your work. That's it. Like, we want to make sure we're building a good, rapport with the students, so they're comfortable enough to have these personal conversations. But aside from that, open up about how they're doing in school and making sure that we're, supporting them in that end, and giving them advice, or whether that's, helping one-on-one with certain like homework assignments or, quiz prep, things like that. So we try to balance these things out, and so far in the time that we've been there, it's been going great. So, we're happy about that.
Yeah, I said, and I'm happy to hear about that. I know I have to wrap up in a moment, but said you can just tell from your passion how into it you are, and you seem to have really struck a balance between, like you said, the academic, the fun, the learning, and I'm really excited to see where you go from here with this.
Yeah, and very career focused, so it's always, if I'm doing a math problem with a student and it's related to like figuring out the square footage of a house, and they say, this is, building a house would be a really cool thing to do. I'm like, oh, well, would you think about career? Do you know what an architect does? Do you know what a developer does? Or a realtor, and all the people involved in housing. And so you get to dive into like, how do you make the connection between these problems and careers? So.
Yeah, and it's been really, more than just an honor. It's been a privilege to like be let into this space, be let into the community, and support all the students that are a part of our program. And being as if we're a big organization, we stem from middle school to high school to post-secondary. Like, we try to build that pipeline, and I can see how great the middle school teams have been doing their job, and us being in high school, like, we're doing our job to the best of our extent to make sure that when they do move on to the post-secondary programs, there's a trust that's embedded inside of that program. And our students and our staff have been really, we work hand in hand in making sure that every day we're like adjusting to them, as opposed to them adjusting to us. And that's something that we're really like, we take pride in. So it's been great for sure.
No, I just want to mention that we're open to English language learners. You don't have to speak English. To Jhayr and our other staff person are both Spanish speaking, and they're totally welcome.
So that all sounds amazing. You got me so excited about it, and I want to thank you for coming on again to really share this with the community.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, thank you. Anytime. And once again, I'm Dani Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Despite scoring first and a valiant effort by the defense, the Patriots dropped to 3-8, losing to the LA Rams 28-22. Driving with under a minute remaining, Drake May threw an interception over the middle, almost a carbon copy of their final drive and loss to the Titans 2 weeks prior. But on a more uplifting note, the C's have won their last 2 games by 3 points each, including handing the Cleveland Cavaliers their first loss of the season. On the 16th versus the Toronto Raptors, the teams were tied at halftime, 54-54, and at the end of regulation with 114 apiece. Jaylen Brown led the way with 27 points, but Jason Tatum was the hero, hitting a contested three-pointer at the buzzer in overtime for the win. In contrast, the Cavaliers game was a game of runs. Boston went into halftime with a 55-48 lead, but a 40-point third by Cleveland evened the playing field. Riding momentum from his last game, Tatum netted 33 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists, as part of a strong team effort where 5 other Celtics turned in double-digit nights, including Al Horford with 20. Part 2 of this double lowdown week features a representative discussing the Mass Save program. Available for all National Grid customers, it includes an energy report for your home and recommendations on how to reduce your electric bill. Here is more of what he had to say. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dani Vittori, and today we have on Mike from the Mass Save program. So happy you could join us today.
Oh, glad to be here. Glad to be here.
So, first things first, for anyone who doesn't know, what is the Mass Save program?
Well, the Mass Save program is a little tiny charge on your bill known as the energy efficiency charge. That charge is about 8% of your bill. And if you have National Grid for either electric or gas, you pay it every month. The program's been around since 2008, so some people have been paying for it for a long time. And it's a program that allows you to have a home energy assessment to take your home to another level, which is basically lower the cost of electric and gas.
It sounds like a pretty good program.
It is. It's almost like a tax refund that you've been paying for all these years. And a lot of people, half, don't know about it.
Oh, wow. So it's... people definitely should know about it if they're paying into it, right?
They should. They should. But all those little fees at the bottom of the National Grid bill, they all have a meaning. But the one we're talking about today is the Energy Efficiency Program, which is a pool of money known as the Mass Save. And there's millions of dollars in there that can be utilized by Lynn residents.
And for residents who are eligible, are there any other applications or paperwork that they have to fill out to actually go and get this assessment?
Yeah, well, this is a great question. What we do is you give me a call, we look up your house, we set up an appointment. It takes about 3 weeks to get out there. They come out and they look at your heat, they look at your AC, they look at the walls, insulation and windows, and there's no restrictions with age, then there's no restrictions financially. You don't have to be in a certain income group. Doesn't matter, low, middle, high, doesn't matter. Everybody that pays into National Grid, whether it's for the last month or for the last 10 years, has the same right to get a home energy assessment at no cost.
Oh, so that was going to be my next question, if it's cost.
There is no cost. No, because you're paying for it every month.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. And would you say some of the short-term or even long-term benefits of getting this assessment done?
Oh, short-term benefit is right away, you're lowering your electric bill and your heating bill. Winter around the corner, my house was built in 1939. I had it done last year. Right away, I noticed the front door doesn't leak because they do free air sealing. They do a blow test on the front and back door. When they look at all these different things like your windows and insulation, they do an assessment. Immediate benefit is lowering the cost. Long-term benefit, it's good for the environment because you're burning less fossil fuel.
And I have to ask, is this a program that's run year-round? Are there specific times when you can ask about it?
Yeah, good question. It's run year-round.
Okay,
As long as you're paying into this, that's all that matters. You do qualify. So it doesn't matter age, income, doesn't matter what time of the year.
Sounds like, it does. It sounds like a great idea. Something that I should probably look into because my house is
You
also
should.
very old.
Yeah, yeah. And most houses, Salem, Lynn, this whole North Shore area are very old.
Yeah, it's very common to have an old house. And you were mentioning they can call you, but also where are other places that people can go to learn more information about this?
Nico.com or Mass Save. Just Google Mass Save and they'll show you everything you need to know about the program. And it's quite the program. They have rebates for every 2 years you can do it. It used to be every 5 years. So they have rebates this year for electric blowers, electric lawnmowers, dehumidifiers, humidifiers, air purifiers. There's a list of all kinds of stuff that you can get a rebate on. The bigger rebates are for heat pumps and mini splits. Typically it costs about $30,000 if you wanted to do that, and there are some customers that want to do that. If you don't sit for the energy assessment, you cannot apply for the rebate of $10,000. And I've seen it happen. People come into the Home Depot, they buy their mini splits, they buy their heat pump, and they're not asking for the rebate because they haven't done the home energy assessment and they don't know about Mass Save. So they don't get 10 grand, which is a substantial chunk of money.
Yeah, it's a third of the cost, right? Like you were saying.
Yeah.
And I noticed one thing it mentioned on the website is they were talking about, I think it was kind of the 4-step process, kind of the process from the assessment through what they may do to your home. Would you be able to speak about that a little bit?
Yeah. So you call me. That's just the first step. They come out and do the assessment. And then basically at the end, they have an energy report card. They show you everything you should do to make your home energy efficient, everything they will help you with, and then all the rebates involved. And the list is long. If you want an electric car charger, if they're $1,200, they give you a rebate on that, as long as you do the energy assessment. If you need a window AC, they'll give you a rebate on that. If you have a 2, 3, or 4 family, they will insulate the walls, the ceiling, attic, everything for 0 cost. Had a customer, he had a 4-family in Fitchburg, $17,000 for a private company to come in and insulate the whole thing.
Yeah.
He went through Mass Save. He's a friend of mine. He went through Mass Save. It cost him nothing. Now, one family, they do charge a little bit, but it's worth it to see everything you will get window cost and then all the discounts and rebates. And everyone's paying for it, so it's not like they're philanthropic.
Yeah, no, of course. You're paying into this program, so why not get the benefits of it?
Yes, exactly. It's almost like a tax refund. You've been paying into it for a long time. And it doesn't matter, like I said, 1 month or 10 years. So they can call me anytime.
And I'll ask, how long have you been working with them, and how's the experience been so far?
Well, I've been in renewable energy for 5 years. I've been working with these guys for about 5 or 6 months. I actually started working for them after they did my house in Lynn. I live in the Diamond District. I have a very cold house. My wife's always got the heat on 75, which I think is ridiculously high. They blew all the insulation in. Just the insulation and sealing the front and back door made an epic difference. And then the windows are expensive. They give a huge rebate on that. We had to replace 2 windows. It all added up. I lowered my bills 25%.
And you're speaking to personal experience.
Yes.
You've seen it work.
I have. It makes a big difference. Last winter, when you put your when you put your heat on, it just leaks out. Halfway through the winter, we got it done, and you just notice the difference. You don't have to keep turning the heat on every 15, 20 minutes.
Which could definitely be a very good, very good benefit.
Well, as most of these customers know, National Grid has tripled in 10 years. It's doubled in the last 3.
Yeah.
The rates for electricity, they've doubled in just 3 years. It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you could have similar thing with the summer as well. You're talking about keeping heat in the winter, but in the summer as well, help a little bit with the circulation.
Exactly. That's exactly true. Yeah, the circulation of the air, it stays in because now we do free air sealing. So if there's a place where there's air coming in or leaking out, they seal that. So there are some things that you really need to do. But if you think down the road, you might be looking at an electric car or heat pumps or an AC window unit, anything like that, and you don't do the program, you don't get the rebates. That is so important to stress that you have to sit for it. It takes about an hour.
Oh, so very time efficient.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll ask, because I'm not as well versed in it, what is a heat pump exactly?
So they're trying to get away from fossil fuels. So that's one of the long-term benefits. You get everybody to use less coal and oil and natural gas. It's better for the environment. Obviously, it seems to be getting a lot warmer. What happens is with a heat pump, everything becomes electric in every single room. If you like your room 73 degrees, but somebody likes it at 68 in the winter, you can set each room to the exact temp you want. If you're not using a room, and you want it at 50, you can do that too. Whereas my old house from 1939, you turn the thermostat on and all the rooms are 70 or all the rooms are 65. That's not the case with heat pumps. And that's why they're given such a huge rebate.
Yeah, because it's basically temperature control for all
every
of the
room.
rooms.
Yeah.
That would be very useful to know.
Yeah.
And I said, I do have to wrap up in a moment, but was there anything else that I hadn't touched upon that you wanted to mention about this program? Any ways people could ask about it?
Actually, we went over pretty much the most important parts. Again, it's an energy efficiency charge, okay? Mm-hmm. If you have a 2, 3, or a 4 family, that's the maximum amount of benefits. If you have a single family, you still get a ton of benefits. And if you're a renter in a 2, 3, or a 4 family, you can still do this program. They'll still come, they'll do free air sealing. They'll still change your light bulbs. They'll do the water restrictors so you save on water. So there's so many different things that you can benefit from just making a phone call. And it's your money.
Yeah. Hey, it's your money that you've been paying into. And you said you make it as simple and streamlined as possible.
Correct. Yep, just give me a call. I'll sign you up. We'll get you out there in a couple of weeks. Can't go wrong.
That also.
Everybody likes money.
Yes, everyone likes money. Everyone likes that. It sounds very simple to me. And I want to thank you again for coming on to, again, inform more people in the community about this program.
I'm very grateful for the time.
Of course. Anytime. Thank you again. And once again, I'm Dani Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Spend your Saturday enjoying the 2024 Downtown Lynn Open Studios from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Lynn Museum and Arts Center, in collaboration with the Lydia Pinkham Labs, is sponsoring this event where participants can purchase handmade goods and learn more about the classes they offer. Travel to 5 different locations using a free trolley with live music. Begin at the studios of the Lynn Museum before heading over to the museum itself. From there, residents can travel to a pop-up at the Brickyard Collaborative, try local goods at the Item Cafe, explore handmade jewelry at Ravenstone, and wrap up the day at Lydia Pinkham Studios. Calling all families, head down to LCTV, 181 Union Street for our 3rd annual Photos with Santa and Toy Drive from 1 to 3 p.m. on Sunday, November 24th. We are again teaming up with the Concerned Citizens of Lynn, offering the community a chance to get free photos with Santa. Also, bring a new unwrapped toy to help with the CCOL Toy Drive and enjoy a series of holiday cartoons and refreshments while waiting for your turn. LCTV will take professional photos for all families, but you're also welcome to take your own for your holiday cards. Spend part of your Thanksgiving at the final Shoe City Series race, the Turkey Trot 5K. The organizers, Stop the Violence Lynn, are using donations from the race to sponsor 10 scholarships for track athletes at the 5 Lynn high schools with 2 apiece. Awards will also be given to the top finishers in the 5 age groups, with all participants receiving medals after the race. The race will begin at Raleigh's Tavern at 9 a.m., so participants can complete the race and still have plenty of time to spend with their loved ones. Visit lyntv.org or the race website to register. That brings us to the final buzzer for the news this week. Stay in tune to the pulse of the city by following us on social media at Lynn Community TV for all the latest breaking news and stories. Find events from a variety of organizations in our complete community calendar. See one you were interested in but couldn't attend? Check out our videos on demand for a recap for free on our website, lyntv.org. We are off next week due to the holiday, but we will return the first week in December with all the latest happenings. I'm Dani Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we wish you a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.